Whiskers was a fluffy ginger cat who lived in the quiet town of Meadowville, and he had a curious streak a mile wide. One sunny afternoon, as his human companions were out, a delightful aroma wafted through the open kitchen window. Whiskers followed his nose and found himself in front of a countertop covered in cooking ingredients. A slab of meat sat benignly on a chopping board along with an array of vegetables, herbs, and spices. Whiskers' innate curiosity took over, so he decided to try his paw at cooking. After all, how hard could it be? With a deft leap, he was on the counter, eyeing the ingredients. Purring softly to himself, he nudged the pepper shaker slightly with his paws, causing it to sprinkle a little over the meat. His next task was the oil. Attempting to remember how his humans often started their meals, Whiskers nudged the oil bottle. However, his heavy paw caused the bottle to tip over, splashing oil all over the meat and creating a small puddle on the floor. Emitting a small mew of exasperation, he straightened the bottle with his paws. Next came the task of lighting the stove. Whiskers, unfortunately, hadn't quite figured out how these magical flame makers worked. Sitting back on his haunches, he pondered, trying to trace the steps his humans usually took. In his attempt, he managed to knock the dial a little too aggressively, setting it to high. The flame whooshed up, licking the air hungrily. Startled, Whiskers watched as the meat sizzled, a sudden realization crashing over his feline mind. There were many things that could go wrong with fire involved. Leaping to the ground with a thump, his paws slipped in the puddle of oil, sending him comically skidding across the floor. Regaining his footing, Whiskers realized it was time for Plan B, seek help. His tiny paws pattered as fast as they could as he ran to the neighbor's house. Mrs. Appleby, an amiable elderly lady, was watering her garden when she saw Whiskers bolting her way, meowing frantically. Recognizing the urgency in his cries, Mrs. Appleby followed Whiskers back to the house. Together, they managed to turn off the stove, averting disaster just in time. In the end, Whiskers learned a valuable lesson: cooking is truly best left to the experts. From then on, he was content to be just a curious observer from atop his kitchen perch. Mrs. Appleby always kept a special bowl of homemade cat treats ready for her little friend, in case Whiskers ever got hungry between meals.